If you're looking for a weight that could have some chaos, I think 65 kilograms is going to fit the bill for the Olympic trials. This weight has so many guys that are truly on a really even playing field, or so we think. You've got Nick Lee, who's been on the world team. You've got Yanni Diakomahalis, who ended the streak and got us a world medal for the first time since 2006. You've got Zane Rutherford, reigning world champion, but up at 70 kilograms. Andrew Alirez, Austin DeSanto, Jesse Mendez, Seth Gross, last chance winner, Matthew Kolodzik. And we've got Kozak's seeding predictions here. We don't know what they're going to be exactly, but there are some things we do know. One, I think that it's unquestionable that Nick Lee will be the 1 seed here, right? He was a reigning world team member. He beat Yanni in the wrestle-off. No one really has a claim to that top seed because the one guy that could is Zane Rutherford. But Zane, because he's a returning world champion up a weight, he gets the bye to the semis, similar to Vito Araujo. He gets that bye to the semis on the bottom side. So Nick Lee's the 1, Zane Rutherford's the bye to the semis guy. So who will those guys wrestle? Well, if you look on the bottom, it seems pretty clear that Yanni will be that 2 seed there. So he'll be on the same side as Zane. Andrew Alirez looks like a solid option for a 3, though James Green is returned. This guy was retired. He got hip surgery. He feels great. I'm hearing pretty light, right? The question for James has always been really good. Everyone knows he's good. He's a multiple world medalist. He's a world finalist. But at 70 kilograms, he's a different guy. He's much more powerful. He's able to wrestle with full energy. Down at 65, he's not been able to do that. So how does he look now down at 65 kilograms? It sounds like the weight cut is going well, but weight cut going well and wrestling well can often be 2 different things. So we'll keep an eye out for James Green. Now, I think there's so many guys. You look at Matt Kolodzik. This guy had a great run at Last Chance, right? All first period techs. You can't just say he's not just a throwaway qualifier. Caleb Larkin, he won Bill Farrell. Kolodzik was there. He beat Jesse Mendez there. Caleb Larkin is the real deal. This is someone who next year in college, he's going to be turning a lot of heads. I think those guys will be down below, along with Joey McKenna and Austin DeSanto. I think all those guys, along with Alirez and Yanni, are going to be down there at that bottom half. And all these guys, they're going to be in nip and tuck matches. With Alirez, he's got incredible positioning. He's got good leg attacks. His transition from leg attack to lace is as good as anyone at the weight class, right? But he's still relatively unknown at the senior level. He has not competed a ton. He's kept his exposure to the fields kind of limited, right? 2 years ago, he honed in and focused on improving at folk style. And so that paid off huge with an NCAA title at 141 pounds. Now for Alirez, after winning that title, he's like, I'm taking an Olympic red shirt. I'm focusing 100% on freestyle, my best style. It's an Olympic year. And a lot of people have Alirez on their short list of guys that can make the team. Now, he would potentially have to go through Yanni, then Zane Rutherford. Now, Zane is an interesting one because everyone knows he's big. It was, I think, debated for some time. Would he go up? Would he go down? He decided, hey, I'm going down. And I think if you look at the schedule and you think, well, what does the schedule matter? Well, for Zane, a lot. Because with that bye to the semis, he'll make weight on Friday morning, and he probably won't have to wrestle for another 8-10 hours. So a lot of recovery time for one match. And it'll be someone who has, run, if not a gauntlet, at least won 2 matches in a row, right? So that's someone that's been in the fire and having to compete a lot. They'll get a fresh Zane Rutherford and someone who's fairly recovered, right? And recovery is a huge thing for these bigger weight cutters, which we know Zane Rutherford is one of. So he'll have potentially Yanni, a rematch with Yanni. Those guys have battled over the years. Could be Andrew Alirez, could be Kolodzik, could be DeSanto. McKenna is so seasoned there, right? He's someone who has been in the mix for years and years, but he'll have to win 3 matches just to get to Zane. And then you have to beat Zane just to make the finals. And then the finals, who's going to wait? Well, look at the top side. We pretty much know Nick Lee's going to be up there. but could be James Green, the 4, Bo Bartlett, the 5. Bo beat Joey McKenna at Senior Nationals. So that's why McKenna's the 6, Bo Bartlett's the 5. But someone you can't discount here, and the real question for him is the weight. Alec Pantelio, this is someone who we know is really big for this weight class. He may be bigger than Green. He could be as big as Zane Rutherford. These guys, they're 70 kilograms naturally, but they're down at 65. Pantelio was this close to qualifying. He was in the semis. He was leading against Andrew Lira's, and then he lost that match, and he lost the following matches and wasn't able to qualify. But Pantelio he's quick. He's very seasoned. He's got some elite wins and in freestyle at the senior level. If he can put it all together, he is very dangerous out of a 12 seed, a 12-5 matchup against Bo Bartlett. I don't even know who the favorite is in that match. Nashawn Garrett's the 13. I mean, that's a guy who was on fire last year at 61. And he gave Vito Arujau 2 really competitive matches. Now, Vito was the best in the world at 61 kilograms, and Nashawn was right there. Now, Nashawn's going to be, it's a kind of an opposite problem for Nashawn. He's small for the weight. He's a 61 kilogram bumping up. So it'll be a big challenge of him potentially against James Green. Now, Jesse Mendez is someone who's got to be feeling extremely confident. He'll have Seth Gross likely in round 1. Winner there gets Nick Lee. I know that's a 1 versus an 8 or 9 matchup, but I think that's a very realistic win for Jesse Mendez. Now, is he a favorite? No, but it's a winnable match for him. So you can see how this weight, while it has so many big names, guys that have brought home medals and world titles and medals at different weights, it still feels like this is one of the more even weight classes. You think back to 2016, where you had like a 9 seed, Frank Molinaro, ended up winning that bracket and being the rep. He beat Pico, who was not a super high seed himself, to make that Olympic team. Feels like it could be a repeat of that here at 65 kilograms, where you have a breakout guy or someone punch through a bracket. But Zane having the advantage, if he's functional at the weight, I think he's got to be your favorite on paper. But there's still a ton of questions on how this is going to be seated. Like 57 kilograms, this one could be done and finished, and we could have our rep by that Saturday morning session. They're going to do the whole challenge tournament on Friday, and then Saturday, they're going to do the first 2 rounds of 65 and 57 kilograms. So we could have our rep before that evening session. So something else to monitor. And for those bigger guys like a Zane, they have to wrestle both rounds potentially early in the morning. So if he's not feeling good off that 2-hour weigh-in, that second weigh-in, it could be problematic. So much speculation, so many questions, so much unknown with how this weight's going to play out. But all I know is from start to finish, this is going to be a weight you're going to want to have your eyes on. It's going to be entertaining. And don't be surprised if we have a surprise rep at 65 kilograms.